So we're talking real quick about using a text service called remind.com before we jump into our lesson for tonight. And it's an app and it's a website. So if you go on your computer and go to remind.com, it's used for teachers and students, but we are teachers and students, right? Just not necessarily traditional. But what you can do is if like during BOGO week, so when doTERRA typically has BOGO weeks in February, August, and November, right, Mayra? Does that sound about right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so I have my customers sign up for text reminders, and I'll send them a text that says, hey, here's the BOGO deal for the week. Or we can use it, a text reminder for this, a webinar series or whatever, or a team call or whatever. And people can subscribe to it, or they can unsubscribe if they're done with it. And it's just a really easy, free way to send a text reminder. It's very limited on the amount of text, your characters, so you have to be very brief. But if you've signed up for the text, then you can see for this where it says, hey, our launch webinar starts in 5 minutes. Here's the link to join. Here's the Zoom meeting ID. And then that way you get that reminder and you're like, so if you're eating dinner or you are about to jump in the shower, you can say, oh, shoot, I need to go get on my webinar. And it's just a great, great service. So I did I have a video about making the most out of BOGOs on my YouTube channel that I go over kind of in detail how to do the remind. So hopefully that's helpful.
It's super helpful. It saves you so much time, and you don't feel like you're annoying them, and it doesn't look like it's coming from you. It's something that they opted in for. So I love the Remind app. All right, so let's get started. So I'm super excited about tonight because out of all of the new, and I was telling them, Nicole, I was telling all of our new builders how lucky they are because we didn't have any of these amazing guides when we started.
No kidding. No, we didn't.
Paper and pens and put it together however you can. And so this is my absolute favorite one. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with the enrollment kit. This beautiful book does come with the enrollment kit, but this guide will save you so much time because remember, the ultimate goal is to have your people fall in love with the products and know exactly how to use them, because if they know how to use them, if you get them hooked during those first 2-3 weeks, then you're done. You don't have to keep following up with them, and you don't have to start from scratch with new people. These people already trusted you by buying these kits. And so this is a way of showing them how to get the best use out of the kit. And instead of them using it like an emergency kit that's a once in a while thing, you can teach them how to incorporate it into their daily life. So 80% of what we do is it's maintenance, right? It's preventative maintenance so that you don't end up having to go to the doctor and get sick. And so this is what the Live Guide's about. And so just a reminder, just kind of a recap, what we would normally do is we would teach a class, right? So someone would host a class, either a one-on-one or a class where you go over what the oils are, how they work, how to get them. Then you would enroll them. And as my suggestion is, as soon as you enroll them, right then and there, schedule your wellness consultation or lifestyle overview or whatever you choose to call it. But schedule that time, which is basically a time to get together with their new kit, where you're going to help them come up with a daily protocol and you're going to teach them how to use the oils. So this is what we're focusing on right now. The build guide has more to do with explaining the business. Share guide is if they're interested in hosting a class and maybe getting free products from you, or maybe making a little bit of supplemental income. And then this launch guide is amazing because this is a launch guide that helps you get from step 0 to elite. So these two work together for people that are builders. All right, so now we're going to go into exactly what the lifestyle overview is. And so through the Live Guide. So as we talked about before, when you sign up with doTERRA, one of the huge benefits, the reason why you're building this residual income, the reason why it becomes an annuity for you, it's like the best investment ever, is because there's a 65% retention rate. And so the only way that we get that retention rate is if we really help every new member understand how to use the products they have. So consider it this way. They enrolled with you once when they got their kit, but it's like they're enrolling with you again when they get on LRP. And so is it easier for someone to become your loyal client if it's someone that you just met, right? Or if it's someone that already bought from you? So it's so much easier to get someone who already bought from you, who's already had good experiences, to be open to continuing to try other products, right? So this is like your low-hanging fruit. It's just, it makes a lot of sense to take this hour to teach them how to use the products they have, help them come up with a daily wellness plan, teach them the benefits of LRP. It's so important for them to understand how they can get free products, help them figure out what can, help them connect with their community, the Facebook group, Oil Camp, what books they can go to, the Empowered Success series, right? Or the Empowered Lifestyle series, we have all the videos. So all of these different resources, and then obviously how they can change lives. I want to share something really quickly here that I wasn't planning on talking about today, but just because it happened yesterday, it's fresh on my mind, and I think that it's relevant. My air conditioning broke, and I had a repairman come, and the man spent 10 minutes explaining to me all the things that he was going to check before he even started working. And I was trying not to be rude, but I was sitting there thinking, I just want you to fix it. I don't care what you're going to do. I didn't want to be rude, right? And so then he went and he figured out what was wrong. And then he came back and he explained for another 10 minutes what he had looked at. And I'm still thinking like, please, I don't care. And then he told me the price. And that's when I, started listening. He was like, okay, you can have this option of just putting the Freon, or you can have this option of changing the coil and adding blah, 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 right? All these other things. And that's when I was really like, okay. And I started asking him questions because I wanted to understand what makes more sense for me to do option A or option B. And that's when I was actually listening and paying attention. And so the reason I'm sharing this with you is I encourage you to do a lot of listening and observing the person that you're working with. If they don't look like they're interested in what you're saying, stop talking and start talking about something else, right? So wait until they're actually hungry and wanting what you're giving them. Does that make sense? And this is also why it's important to set up this lifestyle overview when their oils are brand new, when they're still excited, when it's like, oh, this is my new purchase. So when you're going through this, just keep that in mind. Give them the information that they want. And what information do they want? They want to help figure out how to solve their need. And so their need might be that they're not sleeping well, or it might be that the child has ADD and has a hard time concentrating or settling down, or it might be that they have headaches. Whatever it is, try to focus this 1 hour meeting to solving their need. And the other thing you want to help them see is how, even though that need might be a present need, there might be other lifestyle changes that they could do to help impact that need. So that's something that I thought would be relevant for you. So with that, here's the live overview. Write this down, please. Homework number 1, to go cover to cover. This is really worth your time. Go cover to cover on the live guide overview so that you can really have, know it like the back of your hand. The main thing here on this first page is that we're talking about self-directed health. And so you're going to hear this a lot in doTERRA. We are not suggesting that people just use an oil and that's going to replace all their medication and they don't need to do any of that. What we're actually saying is that we are empowering them to take care of their body through a lifestyle change. And so that's going to imply looking at all of these different areas of their lifestyle. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to let them assess where they fall in each of these areas. We're going to let them rate themselves. And this is important because they even did this at a leadership retreat recently. And it was funny looking around, like people that have been living this lifestyle for a while. Being healthy is like balancing on a ball. It's not like you got healthy once and then you're done. Like things happen where stress comes back into your life, or for some reason you were traveling, you stopped exercising, or you stopped eating right because whatever happened, right? Like something happens, and so you have to go back and readjust. And so what happens a lot of times is that we're just going through our life and going, and we forget to stop and analyze and assess, where are we? And if I'm not happy, what is it that I'm doing or that I can do to change my health, right? Physical or emotional. And so here you have them rate themselves. And so the purpose of this page is for them to figure out, well, where are the gaps? Like, where am I not happy and where do I want to focus first? So it's like if you have guests visit and they destroyed your house, there's like the entire house is a mess, everything, dirty laundry, beds are unmade, towels everywhere. And you just look at it and you're like, this is such a mess. I don't even know where to begin. Well, what would you recommend, right? you pick a room. Just pick a room, start there, clean up that room, and then you go to the next room, and then you go next room. So it's the same thing here. We're going to let them be the ones to pick their starting point. So let's say that their rest and manage stress is the area where they feel they want to start, and it's the area where they feel they have the biggest gap. And so this is a really quick, oh, well, you know, we've got balance soil, but you could flip through, you know, first you have the eating right section, and then you have, hold on, you have the exercise section, and then you flip down here, the detox section. Hold on, my mouse is quick. Okay, rest and manage stress. So let's say that rest and manage stress is where they want to start. And so here, this is great, right? Because it lets them know 80% of disease actually results from persistent stress. So if we can help them address that stress, that's going to already help so many other things that they may be experiencing. So maybe they have headaches, but they're really due to stress, or maybe they have stomach aches and it's due to stress, or maybe they have joint pain and it's because they're like this all day because they're so stressed out. And so here, I like to show them, okay, well, what do you already have? Most everyone starts with a Home Essentials kit or bigger, so they probably already have a diffuser, and so maybe they're not sleeping well, or maybe they're stressed because they're not even taking the time to breathe, or maybe they're not sleeping well because they're congested at night. And so I like to suggest doing Breathe and Lavender, which also comes in the kit, and the diffuser. Or maybe they're struggling with a cold, so they could do Breathe and On Guard. And the nice thing about this page, and so what I want you to take away from here, is that you're giving them solutions that already come in the kit that they got, and them introducing them to other solutions that doTERRA has available for them. So this whole guide is about, you want to say something, Nicole?
Yeah, and doTERRA just came out with LRP kits that are at a reduced price that are matched up to each of these sections.
Yes, it's so cool.
You automatically just say, oh, you need managed rest and managed stress. Here's the rest and managed stress kit. So doTERRA's making it super easy, and it's at a discount too.
Oh, that's awesome. Nicole beat me to it, but I love that she said that because ta-da!
I'm so excited about
these. Great minds think alike. Great minds think alike. Okay, so you go to shop products, and then you go to collections, and then you go down here to loyalty rewards kits. These are fantastic. Homework number 2. Nicole, at the end, you're going to tell us all the homework that I'm telling you. Okay, homework number 2, go and learn these kits. Please learn these kits. So the Athlete's Care Kit, this is for people that are either in pain or lacking energy. Calm and Harmony Kit for people that aren't sleeping well. Digestion Kit, obviously people that struggle with digestive issues. Immune Support Kit, this is great for fall, right, winter time. Relief and Revive Kit, people that have pain, seasonal threats. This is great for allergy season, so great for the spring. So these kits, like Nicole said, they are discounted, and you can only get them through the LRP program. So that's another, there's already all these benefits for the LRP program. It's just yet another benefit for the LRP program. And so I'm not going to take you through every single thing here because you guys can take the time, but I am going to give you a brief overview of how I do it. And then that way you can decide. The other thing that I wanted to show you here, this is, you've heard about this before. We had this challenge in April about the daily habits, okay? So these daily habits is something else that I encourage you. Nicole, add that to the homework, Nicole. All right, so if you go over here, we have this daily habits challenge starting in April. So you can go to doTERRA.com, and I'm going to copy this. It was in the blog. I'm going to copy this and put it in the chat so that you can copy it and save it. That way, if you have a hard time finding it, you'll know exactly where to go. So that is now in the chat box for you. But this is fantastic because it talks about all of those different products that support a daily lifestyle. And when we get to this part of the wellness consultation, which is in your Live Guide, which we'll talk more about in a minute, all of these products are explained there. And so you can do this daily tracker, which will help you see, keep track for, a month straight. Am I using my On Guard in the morning? Am I using my frankincense every day? Am I using my lemon? So that's a way of you keeping track of it. The other thing hold on, I've got all of these different things open. The quick reference product use guide. So this is wonderful because you can see this is in a one pager. Let me blow it up for you. What you do in the morning. So just like this, right? So this is from your Live Guide. This is from page 16 of your Live Guide. It explains in more detail, well, why would you do this in the morning and how would you use it in the morning? In the morning, I'm going to put 1 drop of balance on my feet. It's not in here, but I also recommend in the morning, 1 drop of On Guard on your feet, right? Balance to keep you grounded. It's also great for balancing hormones. And On Guard to boost your immune system. 1 drop of frankincense sublingually. Why do we do that? Frankincense is a great cellular repair oil. It's going to help you feel focused and centered throughout the day. It's also a tree, so it's going to help you feel, along with the balance, which also has frankincense, it's going to help you get your day started on the right foot. I also actually like to, especially for women, recommend that they put a drop of frankincense in their moisturizer and put it on their face. And it's amazing how quickly people start to see within a week, they can tell the difference. Their face just looks healthier and brighter. And then for them to take the vitamins, right, along with their probiotic and their digestive enzymes. And then, as soon as you're done with that, I actually recommend doing this immediately on an empty stomach, immediately after taking care of this, adding a drop of a citrus oil in their water, right? And so all of this, like I said, they would be checking it off here. Taking digestive enzymes right before their meal. So it'll help them digest and break down either the fats, the proteins, the carbs that they're eating. It's like adding a little bit of stomach acid to their stomach. And then adding the Deep Blue Rub if they're going to go exercise, or maybe if they're going to be sitting at a desk all day, they can add some Deep Blue Rub to their neck. And then in the evening, they're going to take that second dosage of the vitamins or their digestive enzymes. If they feel like they're coming down with something, they would take the On Guard Plus. If they just want to avoid coming down with something, they can use the On Guard in their diffuser, or maybe even take a drop internally. Now, I'm going to tell you a fun little secret about On Guard since we're on this right now. People will start experiencing all sorts of side benefits when they start using these oils. So On Guard, for example, has clove in it, and clove is an antioxidant and a wonderful anti-inflammatory. I had one of my clients that was just drinking 2 drops of On Guard every day. And after about 2 weeks, she noticed that knee pain that she'd had for a few months went away. And so that was thanks to the clove and the On Guard. So that's just little things that as they start, make sure that you mention this to them. As you start taking these oils and using these supplements, you're going to start noticing improvement in different areas of your life, right? So you want to mention that to encourage them to be consistent. And then at night, go, just like we talked about on this page over here, which was the rest and manage stress, you see how everything's tying back together. I love it. It's making it very easy for us. It's very consistent. At night, they can diffuse lavender, they can diffuse serenity, they can diffuse sandalwood, or they can put a little bit on the soles of their feet. So I like this because it's a very nice, clean, beautiful chart that explains the daily recommendations. The other, different people think through things differently. So the other thing that's very nice that you can also find from that sheet is that same link that I sent you. It'll show you what part of the lifestyle pyramid, I'm telling you, tying it all back, I love it. I'm going to put a bow on it. What part of the lifestyle pyramid, each of these different products that we're using throughout the day, what part they're impacting. So for eating right, that's where the vitamins are going to help you, the digestive enzymes and the probiotics, right? So that's the eating right part. For exercise, that's where the Deep Blue Rub is going to come in. For rest and manage stress, that's where the lavender and the balance come in, right? Toxicity and weight loss, that's where the lemon comes in. Self-care, the frankincense under the tongue and on your moisturizer, and then the On Guard so that you don't get sick. So any questions so far on how all of that ties in as far as a wellness lifestyle, or where you find that information? Okay, good, no questions. All right, so everything in this guide basically takes you back to that. How can you use doTERRA's products to support you in all of these different parts of your wellness lifestyle? I would just watch this presentation that's under the Live Guide. You remember when you go to Empowered Success and you go to the Live Guide, there's a really great video on there. Launch Your Business, I want to say it's part 6, and it's by Laura Jacobs. And one of the things that she mentions, which really makes sense, most people that join doTERRA initially join because of this level 5, right? So they're wanting to get rid of that headache that's been bothering them, or that stomach ache, or that back pain. And so they see the oils as a once in a while thing, as something that they're going to go and they're going to put at the top shelf of their medicine cabinet. Who knows when they're going to grab it again? And more than likely, when they do need it because they have a headache, they will have forgotten that they even went to the class, and they're just going to go and grab their Advil, right? And so our job in this guide is to help teach them how they can incorporate them into the daily life. All right, so we've gone through all of that. Now I'm going to walk you through. So make sure you take the time to go and look at this. The other thing that I wanted to share, so you don't feel like you're kind of being left on a limb here and I'm not explaining how to walk through all of these. In this guide, which we talked about before, in your launch guide, remember you had for building, you had your build guide and you had your launch guide, and you can download all of this from the doTERRA website. In your launch guide on page 12, it goes in depth through how to do a lifestyle overview with a live guide. So it'll tell you step by step, right? Step 1, have them rate themselves. Step 2, show them the doTERRA lifestyle. Step 3, help them create their wish list, all the way through this next part, which I'm going to show you now. Besides focusing like I did on the rest and manage stress, I also wanted to show you this because this is one of my absolute favorite things that I like about doTERRA. It is their detox program. And so the detox program takes a little bit more explaining because most people are not familiar with the concept of detoxing. Having run 3 different detox groups, this is huge, okay? So what I have found with so many people that have issues is that it's one of 2 reasons why things aren't working well in their body. Either they have too much bad stuff or not enough good stuff, right? Not enough good stuff, we're addressing it by getting the vitamins in there, by getting the probiotics, right? Too much bad stuff, we're addressing it through the detox. And so if you think of your body like pipes, right? Or even a car, you have to give it maintenance. Otherwise, things start getting stuck. And so this is a very nice, gentle way of, over the course of 30 days, helping your body eliminate things that have gotten stuck over time. I'm going to really briefly explain it. Let me close the door because I can hear my kids in the kitchen. Look. So the super quick explanation of the detox is you do it over 30 days. The first 10 days, you're going to be helping get rid of the low-hanging fruit, get rid of the things that are easy to get rid of, right? The next 10 days is the hardcore cleanse where you've got this GX-Assist supplement that has the spicy oils, it has the thyme and the oregano and the lemongrass, the stuff that's going to go in there and kill all that bad bacteria. And then you're going to replenish your gut microflora by packing it full of good bacteria with the probiotics and then repairing that microbiome with DDR Prime, which is a blend of essential oils that help repair, including frankincense. And so throughout the 30 days, you're going to be supporting this elimination process with the digestive enzymes, the lemon oil, the Zenderkin complex, which is basically like doTERRA's version of fiber or Metamucil, and the vitamins. And so what you can expect after this 30-day cleanse is clearer skin, better mood, more energy, less pain, all of these things I've seen happen. I've seen people that had eczema or psoriasis or bad skin issues go away. I had a cousin who had a little cyst in her breast, that went away. People with migraines, that went away. Obviously, you expect people to lose weight. And so this is a really great program. We do it, we've been doing it once a year, but I think that people can start whenever. We might start doing it twice a year as a group. And so it's always nice to do this as a group because it helps keep everyone else accountable. Now, what I wanted to mention here, when people sign up, they get the doTERRA Essentials book, which is this beautiful book. 2 cool things in here that you want to point out. You want to point out to your new enrollees that they're going to have sticker sheets, and you want to encourage them to label all of their bottles with their stickers and put them in places that are easy to access around their home, right? All we're trying to do is get them to use their oils daily. And so you're going to tell them, put that lemon oil, right? Label that lemon oil and put it in your kitchen. Label that oregano and put it in your kitchen. Have that lavender maybe by your bed or by your diffuser or somewhere upstairs. Keep that frankincense by your moisturizer so you can put it on when you put the moisturizer. So those are some ideas. But the other really cool thing, if you haven't noticed it, in the back of this book, you have the entire 30-day cleanse, which is fantastic. And so this explains step by step what they're going to do. And they have a way of tracking when they're activating for the cleanse, when they're resetting their body, and when they're renewing their body. And so that's there for them. And it's kind of like a foreshadowing and getting them excited to do this cleanse. So this is something that we absolutely want to mention at the beginning. This is the other thing that I think is super useful to mention. We're trying to help them. We're trying to encourage them to create daily wellness lifestyle habits. And we wouldn't have to be detoxing if we weren't exposed to so many toxins to begin with. Nicole and I just went to this Dallas retreat or leadership, Dallas regional summit this weekend. And it was so interesting to me. Nicole, what did they say? They said that in one day, a person is exposed to more toxins in our current society than they were in a lifetime historically.
Yeah, it was crazy. I don't remember the exact number, but it was just like, we just have so many more toxins around us just in the air we breathe and the radiation in the air, because we have so many electronics and just in the water and like all just, it's all around us. And our bodies were designed to deal with the toxic load, but they weren't designed to deal with the toxic load that they're having to now, especially when we're intentionally putting toxins in our body. So yeah.
So in our personal care products, in our cleaning products. And so this is, if people, right, so if you have someone starting out and they're like, ooh, I want to get the product of the month, but I have no idea how I'm going to order enough. Like where am I going to get 125 PB worth of things to order? I don't need to order 125 PB a month. And so here's what you help them see. You know what? It's stuff that you're already buying. You're already buying toothpaste, except this toothpaste is better because it doesn't have fluoride in it. It's not going to hurt your thyroid. You're already buying, moisturizer and beauty products. This is better. It's all plant-based. There's no synthetics. You're already buying shampoo. Guess what? The shampoo is amazing. The conditioner smells like lavender. The shampoo smells like orange, and it's going to help. Not only is it going to make your hair soft and smooth, it's going to wake you up in the morning. It's going to make you feel clean and refreshed. And so here's where you can give them some ideas of things to buy. Their laundry detergent is fantastic. You can use the On Guard Cleaner Concentrate to clean anything in your house, from your toilet to your countertops. It's amazing to me. I didn't realize this until I started using doTERRA. All of these different cleaning products that come in all of these different bottles, it's basically the same thing. It's just soap diluted to different amounts. So it's how much water you add to your soap. It's all the same thing, right? They're charging you all of this money for basically the same thing. It's just more water. And then obviously the On Guard hand soap, which smells delicious, and it's fantastic to keep your hands nice and clean instead of using antibacterial soap. The Informed Self-Care. I like this because it gives you, it presents the keychain, and it gives you an idea of what are the top 8 oils that you would want to have on hand in case of emergencies. This is another one that I have to highlight. If you don't have Caractex, please, please, please add this to this month's LRP. It's amazing. It's the Miracle Ointment. It's like the non-synthetic version of Neosporin. Anything, cuts, burns, bruises, Caractex is amazing. It has helichrysum in it. It's the least expensive way of getting helichrysum. It's even good for dark circles under the eyes and for acne. So that's one that I really recommend. Now, I like this chart as well because it presents, I don't know why I'm having, there we go. It presents everything in an easier format. So some people, especially if you're presenting it to a man, some people like to see the pretty pictures, and some people like to think of body systems. So let's say you're talking to someone who struggles with urinary tract infections. They're constantly going to the bathroom. The really cool thing about this chart is that they were very smart. doTERRA was very smart about picking which products to put on here. So you're going to see most people have the basic 10 oils. The basic 10 oils will appear in each of these body systems, so they have a starting point, but then they have other suggestions and other things that they can go try. So let's say someone has a lot of back pain. Well, guess what? They probably already own Deep Blue. They may not own these other ones, but you can suggest, hey, well, depending on where the back pain is, maybe, or where the pain is, maybe it's Deep Blue and Lemongrass if it's on your back. Or maybe it's your neck. Maybe you do Deep Blue and Siberian Fir, so you can give them kind of an idea of where to start. I really like this chart. Is there anything you want to say about this, Nicole, about the targeted systems?
I think that it's important, especially as we're starting out. You might not realize it yet, but we live in a culture that's very label-based. And so people are going to want to come to you saying, I have this condition, I have this condition, I have this condition. Well, we got to step back. We're not doctors. And even if you are a doctor, we're looking to support the body. And so if somebody comes to you with a crazy disease, which they will, and you'll be like, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Ask, what system are you trying to support? And this is such a great starting point because it does give you oils that are going to support these systems. So if they're having hormonal imbalance, you can say, okay, let's look at the reproductive and endocrine because those two work together for hormonal balance, and target it based on the system that's struggling and needs support. And you're going to have so much better overall results than if you're trying to look up what oils for X disease. So
I love that. That's a really good point. So I think two things, just tagging on to what Nicole said. We're not doctors. This is you helping them find their own solution. So this is you basically introducing them to, oh, right now you've got a urinary issue, but someone's going to have allergy issues in the spring. Guess what? This is where you go to look up what other oils can help you, right? So this is basically freeing up your time and putting it back on them to empower them to take care of themselves and their families. And then the second thing is the body really does, everything works together. So I've actually had people come in here that I've scanned, and something comes out in the scan. Hold on. Excuse me. Something comes out in the scan. Like, for example, one girl scanned for deep blue as like a core issue that she's had for a long time. And she, for the life of her, could not, she said, I'm not in any pain. That doesn't make sense. I'll get it anyway. And so when she was driving home, she called me and she said, so I have, what do you call it? It's like, is it spina bifida? I have spina bifida, and I've obviously had that my whole life. You think that's why I could have scanned for deep blue, like a long-term pain thing? And I'm like, yes. All right, so she's just been so used to being in pain, it didn't even click for her that that could be the issue. And so this is a really just helpful reminder that if some pain is pain, so whether it's headache, neck pain, back pain, knee pain, it doesn't matter the name of the disease, deep blue is going to help you with pain, right? Immune support is immune support. If they have an autoimmune anything, On Guard is going to help boost their immune system. So just kind of keep that in mind, and don't let yourself don't ever get trapped in a corner of this will cure this thing. Remember to always say, and this is where you can remind them, everybody's body's different. And so I've had people call me and say, well, I don't want to spend a lot of money. I see that these different oils could work. Which one should I buy? And so I'll tell them, well, everyone's body's different. Maybe for respiratory issues, maybe peppermint is your perfect oil. But just like when you make a cake, it takes different ingredients. You need eggs, you need flour, you need sugar, and then you decide if you want to add cinnamon or cardamom or whatever else you want to add in there. It's the same way with when you're working with the oils. Your perfect blend or your perfect combination is going to be different from mine. And so we only know if we try and we play, and you recommend how to combine and play with the things that come in their basic kit, and then they can add from there. The other thing that I like to do is whenever they come, let's say that they have back pain, I like to right then and there have them open the oils and say, here, let's do it together. Let's see how you would do it. When I first started, Nicole said, hey, make a roller blend of blah, 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 whatever. And I was so scared of messing it up that I drove for 25 minutes to her house and sat there and watched her make this roller bottle and drop, put it together, because I didn't feel confident enough that I knew what I was doing. And so it's very helpful if they have a specific issue that right then and there you show them, here, put it in your hands, put it in your neck, put it on your back, and kind of walk them through it. So what I would like to do now, this is basically like a nice summary of, okay, well, what oils or products help support going back to this, eating right, what helps you with exercise, what helps you with rest and manage stress, reducing toxic load, and inform self-care. So this is kind of a wish list where they can check it off, and here they can add the main things that they want to get. Now here is where I want to show you some of the most common things, and I'm going to let Nicole jump in case I forget one, but the most common things that I help them come up with on their wellness consult. And so the way that this is the key, like this is what you want them to leave with that page filled out. And basically that page, you're going to have what their goals are, right? You're going to give them you're going to help them figure out their starting point. You're going to help them have exactly when do I do what, how many times a day, what quantity, what other things could I do? And so these are going to be logical things. If they always get headaches, maybe they're not drinking enough water, maybe they're not getting enough sleep. So just a friendly reminder, they probably know these things, but just reminding them, hey, well, have you considered maybe trying this? Maybe you need to eliminate gluten from your diet, right? And then helping them figure out what their wish list is, what their LRP per orders will be for the next 3 months, and how they can maximize those LRP orders to get the free products. So the first thing you would do is you would go to this page and help them check off what they already have, right? So that's the basic 10 oils. So for example, they're all going to have lavender, they're all going to have lemon, and they can quickly see, okay, well, lemon's good for, it's an antioxidant, it's good for detox, lavender's good for sleep. That way they'll have all that. And then you'll go over here and you'll say, well, what are your top health priorities? And this is similar to what we already did, right? If you remember this, we talked about this before when we taught the class and we did the natural solutions, but here we're reminding them, this is why you bought it. So let's say that they have digestive issues. Their 90-day goal is to stop having so many digestive problems. And so what do they already have that can help with digestive issues? They have lemon and they have digestin. And so you can put that there. Other solutions that you may need, well, remember, the probiotics and the omegas are fantastic for just foundational support. So they might want to write on their probiotics and omegas. So how would you use the lemon and the digestin? Because you want them to understand how would I use it. Well, you're going to use the lemon in your water in the morning, right? So if you put lemon in water in the morning, first thing, and then the digestin, you could either rub it over your belly with coconut oil, or you can add that to your drop of lemon, right? So let's say that the next thing that they have is that they're not sleeping well. And so they're not sleeping well, you're going to say, okay, well, in the evening, what solutions do we have? We have the lavender that comes in the kit, and we have the breathe. And so you're going to write down there. And then what other solutions they may need? Well, you might want to recommend the Serenity soft gels are fantastic for sleep, or maybe the vetiver, or maybe the cedarwood. And all of these things, guys, you can memorize them eventually, but you don't have to have them memorized. I'm basically just going back to this. This is from your Live Guide. You have all this information. It's tying it back for them and helping them figure out what other solutions they might want to try. So when would you take the Serenity soft gels? When you can take them 2 at night before you go to bed. The lavender and the breathe, you can put that in the diffuser at night before you go to bed. And let's say another very common thing that I hear people complain about is pain. We already talked about that a little bit, but I'm going to remind you. So what do they have? They have the deep blue oil, and they have the frankincense. So you can suggest that they layer that, dilute it with coconut oil, and apply it wherever they're feeling pain. And then what solutions do they need? Depending on where the pain is, I love recommending lemongrass because it only costs $10, and that combo of deep blue, frankincense, and lemongrass is super powerful. I also, depending on the type of pain, if it's a really severe pain, if they're older, I love the deep blue complex. And I'll talk more about the deep blue complex capsules in a minute, but those are fantastic. I've had so many amazing results with people that take those. And so then, you basically have their top 3 health priorities. Nicole, is there another one that you want to add here of something that, well, I'll tell you 2 more and then I'll let Nicole add. A lot of people have rashes or they have skin issues. So for that, lavender tea tree oil, that's your skin issue combo, right? The other thing that people like is they want to have really beautiful skin, frankincense and the moisturizers for beautiful skin. So just right there, you have 5 different things that they can do every day with their existing kit. Nicole, what else do you think is like super common that people complain about that they can use the basic 10 oils for?
I would probably say like allergies and respiratory stuff.
Okay, allergies. Okay, so for allergies, tell them.
So for allergies, you're going to recommend to do equal parts lemon, lavender, and peppermint. And they can apply it on the back of their neck. They can make a roller bottle out of it, or they can put it in a little shot glass and take it down, or in a capsule. Melaleuca is also good to add to that mix. And then for breathing, for respiratory congestion, they've got the breathe. And if they're having asthma issues, adding a drop of lavender in with the breathe is very, very beneficial because it really adds extra calming when that wheezing's happening. The other thing that I hear that comes up quite a bit is either depression or anxiety.
Mm.
More, more of those mood issues. And so in the basic kit, what I recommend for, let's say somebody that's struggling with depression is using some frankincense and lemon, and sometimes a little bit of peppermint, depending on if they're really, really down in the depths of depression, because peppermint is very emotionally, it gives you a break. So it gives you a break from feeling that sadness. And so that can be very beneficial. And then for anxiety, I like.
Wait, but tell them how, Nicole. How would you use it?
Oh, sorry. I would either do it internally, or put a drop on your hand and breathe it in, or put it in a diffuser. And then for anxiety, same application, either like on your hands, breathe it in, or in a diffuser. I would do the lavender and
breathe.
Yeah, breathe is good, or lavender and frankincense. And then I would also recommend for anxiety the Serenity soft gels.
Yeah, Serenity. So maybe talk a little bit more about that, because that has been huge, the Serenity soft gels.
So I discovered this about a year ago. I had never experienced anxiety and just had a lot of anxiety happening last year as I was going through some stuff. And I felt impressed to take the Serenity soft gels during the day. And I was like, I don't want to go to sleep, but I was like, I'm desperate to feel better because I was coming out of my skin. I was so anxious and I couldn't function. And so I took 2 Serenity soft gels, and it was like miracle pill. It made me be able to feel calmer and just be able to function, because I just had this underlying generalized anxiety. And I would have, panic attacks and stuff. But the Serenity soft gels helped so much, and they didn't make me sleepy. They kept me calm. And the reason for that is the lavender and the herbal extracts that are in the Serenity soft gels are incredibly calming for the neurological system, and they help lower your cortisol levels, which are your stress hormones. And it helps you calm down. And it's not, they're not narcotics. They're not going to put you to sleep if it's not sleep time. So, yeah.
I love them. Serenity, and they're only like $20. So that, if you haven't tried Serenity soft gels, I really encourage you to get them here soon, and either take 2 of those at night to help you sleep, or if you're having a stressful moment, try it out during the day, because I've also tried those when I have stressful moments, and they're super, super helpful. All right, so then here's where you basically, you will written out, okay, in the morning, we've already talked about this before. That's what we talked about when I first started, where I showed you the daily protocol, the Dr. Hill daily protocol. There is this other fantastic, if you don't like that summary sheet that I showed you at the beginning, I found this online. I'm going to put this in the chat. I really like how they put this together. So you can keep this. Nicole, you might want to copy these for when we post it on the page. But I think this is so beautifully presented. It explains the protocol. It's something that someone can print or have in a binder. It talks about why balance helps, why frankincense, why lemon. It also brings some other oils like copaiba. You can use copaiba instead of frankincense. It talks about on guard but in beadlet form to take internally. A little bit more about the Serenity soft, just like we've been talking about. But just look at how beautiful this is. It makes me happy looking at it. And then in the back it says the protocol, but it's actually written out. Like in the morning, balance in the bottoms of the feet when you wake up, the frankincense. It spells it out nicely. So that's something else for you to pick your favorite. And then here, you're going to help them figure out their LRP program. And so depending on who you're working with, or when they enrolled, the goal is to help them get at least 100 points if they're doing the business, right? So they can get commission. 125 points if they want to get the free product of the month. They need to order before the 15th. So I'm going to walk you through how I explain the LRP program now, and then we'll go back once we've talked about that through how to fill that out. So I absolutely love the doTERRA LRP program. And this is another one of the homeworks that I have for you. If you go to our advocates and then doTERRA University, and then you go to Living doTERRA, and then you go to New Shopping Experience. Just remember this path, guys, because I also encourage you to later go check out the Daily Drop, which is for on-the-go learning. It's an app that you can download. You can go in here and they've got little, short little videos of informational videos. The Empowered live series. This has very thorough, lots of longer videos on everything from men's health to, green cleaning. There's tons and tons of information there. It's fantastic. But what I want to focus on right now, so check that out later. What I want to focus on right now is this new shopping experience. If you go under the new shopping experience, there is tons of information on the LRP program. And so this one is great because it goes in detail through exactly how the program works. Probably no one's going to take the time to read that, but it's good for you to know that it's there in case you ever have a question on how it works. This is great. This other one, which is editing your LRP order, because it walks you through exactly how to set up an order, but it's also, once again, it's a sheet, so people may not take the time to look at that. And so the easiest thing, if you don't have the ability to sit next to the person, so normally I like to go through the person's lifestyle live guide and show them how they log on. Like I help them physically, I sit next to them, and in the back of the live guide, I will write down their account number and their password, and I will say, okay, here, let's log on together. And I have them type in doTERRA.com, their login ID, their password, and go in and set that LRP order together. If you can do that, that's ideal. But if you don't have the chance to do that, then you can go in here and just forward them this video. It's a quick video which explains to them how they can go and set up the LRP order on their own. Okay, so this is a very useful place to go. Also nice on here is it has how you can redeem your LRP points, and it also explains how you can enroll someone, right? New user experience, new enrollment process. So this is just a really good place on the website to know. It has a lot of the basic information. So now we're going to go back over here, and I'm going to show you how I like to explain the LRP program. To me, the LRP program is the best way to save on doTERRA products, right? I get tons of products for free. So you can get anywhere from 10% to 30% additional discounts on top of the 25% that you're getting from being a wholesale member. The discount grows depending on how much you're ordering. So assuming you're ordering at least 50 points a month, it's going to start at 10%. And every 3 months, it's going to go up by 5%, right? So 10% to 15 to 20, 25, until it caps out at 30%. So what that means is that after you've been ordering for a year, you're basically getting that 25% discount plus a 30% additional and free product credits. So you're basically getting your products at a 55% discount. And so for me, I don't really enjoy going to Target. I don't like the lines. I don't like having to find a place to park. I don't like the heat. I love that I can get my laundry detergent, my soap, my hand wash, my shampoo, all of these things delivered straight to my door. And I'm getting basically things that are higher quality than I would get at Target at 55% discount. So I'm getting them for a significantly reduced price. So this to me is a no-brainer. If they want to save an additional amount, then they can do a 125-point order, and it needs to be done before the 15th of the month. And that way they'll get the product of the month for free. It's typically a product that's around $15. And then every so often, they have a special promotion that with every 200-point order, you get a more premium product for free. So every year since I've been with doTERRA, and I think since the history of the company, December is frankincense month. So with every separate 200-point order, you get a free bottle of frankincense, which is huge. So a lot of times I'll save up my orders. Like in October, I start saying, ooh, okay, I'm gonna stack up my orders, and I'll do 4 or 5 different orders, and I'll do, that's when I stock up on my inventory, and I'll get my bottles of free frankincense. It happens that this month is another 200-point month. Right now we have that On Guard special that with every 200-point order, you're gonna get all of these different On Guard products. That for the 200 points, it's any time in the month, and it's any kind of order. It doesn't have to be LRP. It can be a new enrollment. It could be a retail order, any kind of order with 200 points for that month of that promotion. You're going to get that. For the LRP, however, for the free product of the month, it is only for LRP orders, and it's only once. So like I said, with the frankincense, you could get 4 different ones if you do 4 different 200-point orders. With the LRP, you don't get, if you do 4 different 125-point orders, you don't get 4 products. So I want to make sure that that's clear. So that's basically how I explain the LRP program. And then I always make it a point. So this is your next homework. Nicole, I hope you're keeping track of all this homework. The next homework, this is so important. Please, please learn your lifelong vitality pack. I'm gonna share with you right now, but learn this. And this is kind of homework that I'm basically explaining to you right now, but go back and read about the lifelong vitality pack. It's the #1 selling product. So the 3 items in the lifelong vitality pack is your multivitamin, which is basically whole food based, right? So practicing multivitamin is whole food based. If you open the multivitamin, you can see that it basically looks like seasoning. And so these are fruits and vegetables that your body can actually absorb and use. So when you pee, it's not going to smell weird and it's not going to look funny because your body's actually taking all of that and it knows how to put it to good use. And I always like showing people the ingredients, and they're going to see it says broccoli and spinach and kale and all of these veggies. So it's like spoonfuls of wellness. And if they ask, well, why do I need to take so many a day? You say, because it's not synthetic, right? It's not a mega dose of something fake. It's truly herbs, right, that have been put into little capsules. So you have to picture it spoonfuls of vegetables. The omegas are amazing because they're so good for cardiovascular support, neurological support, and any sort of pain, right? Any sort of pain issue. Imagine that you're basically lubricating your joints, okay? Also really good for digestive support. And they have 9 essential oils in them, including frankincense, which we all know is the king of oils, and clove, which is the best antioxidant out there. And then finally, the Alpha CRS, which is also wonderful. The Alpha CRS is your longevity and energy supplement. So that's really good to give you energy, so you don't want to take it at night. And it helps, it's an antioxidant supplement, so it helps with cellular support. The other thing I wanted to mention here is you can get discounts, but I want to make sure, because this is the top selling product, that you are aware in your product guide on page 57, people can get the vitamins, which costs $80. They can get the vegan supplements, which are $89.50, or they can get something called the Daily Nutrient Pack. The Daily Nutrient Pack is basically just the multivitamin and the omega. And so for certain people, like for me, for example, because I tend to have cold hands and feet, so my circulation isn't the best. So for people that have cold hands and feet, or for people that have foggy brain, I actually recommend that they add on the Mayra 2 Max instead of the Alpha CRS. And so if you're not sure which of those 2 supplements would work better for you, you can try 1 month doing the regular Lifelong Vitality, and the next month doing the Daily Nutrient Pack and adding on the Mayra 2 Max. What I wanted to point out here, so here's the Mayra 2 Max. What I wanted to point out here, and I love that doTERRA did it this way, is that you can add on up to 3 additional supplements at a significant discount. This is huge. So the Deep Blue Complex, which I was telling you about earlier, which is amazing for pain, retails for $80, okay? Wholesale price is $60. Well, guess what? You can add it on for just $20 to your supplements. To me, that is huge. That is a huge savings for an amazing supplement with turmeric. Most people, especially people that are living a healthy lifestyle, are familiar with turmeric and its anti-inflammatory properties. So that's a great one to add. The digestive enzymes, which are part of that daily lifestyle, is another option here. And then the probiotics. And if you have children, this is another really great thing. You can get them the vitamin and the liquid omega for children and add that. So we are just about out of time, but I wanted to point out 2 last things. This is what I had mentioned before, putting in their member ID and putting in their password, so they have it all together in this beautiful handout. So whenever they are ready to place an order, they'll have easy access to it. And the other thing that I wanted to share is where they can go to learn more, right? So you plug them into your Facebook community. You let them know that you're going to have, for example, an oil camp that we have for our team. And present it like this is such a great perk that you get as a member of our team. You're going to get 15 minutes a day of training, bite-sized pieces of training to help you get the most out of your oils. And you also have access to more in-depth training to the Empowered Life series, which is what I already showed you online earlier. You can opt into the daily drop, so it'll give you on-the-go little tips on how to use the oils. You can order the Living magazine. So remember when I showed you that the Healthy Habits, and that was in a blog that was part of the Living magazine. And then reference apps, right? This is when you show them, if you have the Essential Life book, if you have that available at wholesale, I recommend that you get those in bulk and have them available for them at wholesale, just so you have a reference guide where you can teach them how they can get the Modern Essentials app on the phone. And then this to me is, besides explaining to them and showing them how to get on the LRP program and showing them how to, you know, pick what they're going to be adding, trying to guide them to how they can get to 125 points. This is super important because you want them to know how to use the oils safely. So they may feel like, I'm going to mess up. And so you can let them know, look, if you don't remember anything else from what we talked about today, these are the best practices on when you're going to use the oils. Don't ever put them in your eyes or in your ears. It's going to get into your bloodstream regardless. So just put it around. If you're going to use the oils, I suggest that you always, regardless of what kind of oil it is, you always dilute it, right? It's going to make it last longer. It's going to make it absorb better. And if you do use an oil that is a citrus oil, especially now that the summer's coming up, make sure that you let them know that these oils are photosensitive. So just like we wouldn't grab orange juice or lemon juice and go and sunbathe, it's the same thing. Don't put the oils that are citrus oils anywhere that's going to be exposed to the sun. Either take those internally or soles of the feet or diffuse, and then read the labels. This is where you let them know. How do you know if you can drink it? It'll say on their supplement facts on the bottle. To make them most effective, look up your book, right? Look at your book to find which oils or which solutions for the concerns that you're having. And different oils work differently for different people. So if something doesn't work, keep looking and keep trying until you find your perfect combo. If you massage the oil either into your feet or into the specific area, if you like rub it in there, that's going to make it, you're going to have that double benefit of the oil plus that massaging. And if you want to get a quick response, under the tongue is the quickest way of getting the most concentrated amount of oil into your body. But you can also put them around your navel, along the spine, or on the soles of the feet. And just these simple best practices. Try to keep your oils outside of the sun. Make sure that you're using a glass container if you're drinking. You know, never put it in plastic, always glass or stainless steel. And the oils are super potent, and so it only takes one little drop at a time. It's better to use less oils more frequently than to use a whole bunch of oils at once. And so the way that I normally like to explain this, because we are a supersized society, is I say, just like it's better for you to take 8 glasses of water throughout the day than all at once, it's the same way. After 3 hours, your body will have taken whatever it needs from the oils and metabolized the rest. So, all right, that is our class for today. What questions do you guys have for me? That was a lot of info, which will be recorded.
We had a question saying that Daily Drop doesn't work anymore, and I'm pretty sure that they've moved away from the apps. doTERRA has moved away from the apps and just is doing it on a mobile-friendly app, web-based version. So if you were using Daily Drop before, it's still there. Just send them the link to Daily Drop versus an app for Daily Drop. And
send them a link. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah. So just for that functionality.
That's helpful. Thank you, Nicole. Okay, Nicole, do you want to remind them what the homework is?
Let me see
and do this and do that and do this. We're almost done. We've got one more class.
Okay. So homework number 1, go cover to cover in the Live Guide. Know it well. Step 2, go and learn that new LRP kits so you can know what to recommend.
Ooh, okay, so these are right here, right?
Yes.
LRP kits. Yes.
I'm quoting you here, sister, so don't act surprised. Read about the Daily Habits Challenge and know how to incorporate that into the Live Guide. Go on under Our Advocates, doTERRA University, and then the new shopping experience, and explore the LRP information and read that through so you can answer any questions that might come up. And then learn how to share the LLV and know it well.
I love it. So to learn more about the LLV, if you go to Shop Products and then Supplements, you can go right here where it says Daily Vitality. Click right here where it says, well, there's a brochure, which is fantastic if you want to add that to your cart, just so you can learn more about it. Or you can go here to the Lifelong Vitality Pack. It'll tell you the primary benefits. And then at the bottom right here, there's a really nice presentation that walks you through. And like I said, you don't have to memorize this. This is just this is a wonderful slide right here that'll tell you what's the alpha CRS for, what's the XE omega for, what's the microplex and BMZ for, and then you can, if you do want more information, you can go in there and read all about oxidation and antioxidants, which basically prevent oxidation.
Yeah, and I know I've got at least 1 or 2 webinars that cover LLV and detoxing pretty in depth. So sometimes it helps to hear somebody explain it. If you're more of that kind of learner, you can check out, and Mayra, you probably have similar videos on yours. So checking out some webinars on the LLV would be very advantageous to help you explain it. And guys, make sure that you are trying out the LLV, because you're never going to sell it if you don't try it. And I'm going to tell you right now that your business is a key to stability in your team and your business. And
Nicole, tell them about that nutritionist, that functional medicine doctor. I was so surprised by her presentation this week.
So Ruth Goff, her husband is an ER doctor, and they're out of South Dakota, and she's a functional, I don't think she's a doctor, but she's a functional medical practitioner or something is I think what it was. But she is just a huge advocate of the LLV, and just went into so much detail of why this is it's just like a dream supplement system, because it has so many things and so many components that it would take so much to source and to get all good ingredients. And you would have just a medicine cabinet full of supplements just to get what's in the LLV. And it was just how much our body needs these tools in order to function. Because I think most of us come into this wanting oils, and we kind of brush to the side the supplements. But I can think, I know Mayra will agree with me, everything changes when you start taking those supplements. Your health goes to a whole new level, and because your body has the right tools and it can actually heal. And so the oils actually work better, and you need them less because your body's working how it should. So make sure, yeah.
She presented for an hour. Didn't she almost have, what do you call those things?
Her, I didn't know you were talking about her personal story, but Ruth Goff, the functional nutritionist, had severe bowels to where they were going to have to do like the bypass, and she was going to have an external bag for her bowels. And, that's how severe her stomach issues were. And going through the LLV and using some essential oils, she's totally normal now and didn't have to do that. And she was only like in her early 30s, I think, when that happened.
Yeah, she was
or late 20s, like she's very, very young. So yeah, kind of crazy. So it looks like Jennifer has her hand raised. Jennifer, go ahead, unmute yourself.
I've already forgot my question, so don't worry about it.
The other really great thing about the vitamins, which I'm glad I just remembered, is you can basically get them for free. So this is something that we absolutely need to recommend to everyone when we do the wellness consult, is try these out. If they don't change your life, send the bottles back empty, and doTERRA will refund you your money. Right? I mean, that's amazing. That's an amazing guarantee. And so they will feel better. So that's a lot about the LLV, but hopefully if you haven't tried them yet, you will start using them and do the full amount. Don't limit yourself to just, I don't want to take all these pills. Like, I really don't like taking pills. There's a reason why there's so many of them, and it's simply that they're not all, you can't pack everything because it's natural into a single pill. The only other thing I wanted to mention, Nicole, do you want to explain the whole overdosing of the vitamins? I think that's kind of important to mention too, like regular vitamins and how it's
regular vitamins, because they're wanting their label to look good, like their nutritional facts, they will load and overload synthetic vitamins into the little pellet that you're taking or whatever. And with water-soluble vitamins, your body can process it. It can eliminate it easily. But you've got several fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin D, E, and A, that I believe A. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but there's several fat-soluble vitamins that actually will accumulate in your system if you're taking them in high doses and can create toxicity issues. And thankfully with doTERRA, we don't have scary amounts of these fat-soluble vitamins in our vitamins, because we don't want that. So even high quality vitamins that you'll see other companies sharing, sometimes they will have scary amounts, and you have to be careful because you can have adverse effects from overdosing on those fat soluble vitamins. So
yep. Thank you, Nicole.
I hope that's what you're looking for.
It was fantastic. All right, everyone, thank you so much. We've got one more class on Thursday. Is it at 10 or 10:30, Nicole?
10:30.
10:30. So Nicole's going to be teaching on?
We're going to be talking about mainly support and just lots of good stuff, and how to love on your team and how to help support yourself as well.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.